honest right now. I just spent 10 minutes talking to my phone, thinking it was recording. I said such cool, witty shit. And now I have to start over because my phone wasn't fucking recording me. Do you know how livid I am right now? I came up with some genius content. Let's hope it flows. Second go around. Jesus, bless me. I'm here to talk about, if you see me looking this way, it's to make sure I'm recording and not wasting my fucking time. I'm here to talk about extracts. Specifically, I am here to talk about the douchebags that were once Kratom advocates, but then come out with a withdraw ebook, a video on why they stopped Kratom, why they had to, the revelations that they discovered. I'm talking about those people, the people that clearly took Kratom for the wrong reasons and clearly took extracts. If anyone has a right to talk on this topic, it's me. The original Kratom girl, the first one who ever did a YouTube channel, a YouTube video about Kratom from the Kratom underground community, aka Susan Ash era. If anyone has a right to talk on this confidently and be taken serious, I've been consuming Kratom for almost 15 years. And guess what? I don't touch extracts. And it still works the way it should, because it does work. So the person that says, only extracts works for me, I just need extracts, nothing else works, powder is just, it's not worked for me, I'm sorry. Lovingly, I am lovingly saying, fuck you, shut the fuck up. That's not the way it works. I can almost guarantee you that your first introduction to Kratom was extracts. And so then it's kind of stayed that way, because once you switch to powder, it doesn't give you that high that everyone talks about that is real. All the people that say Kratom gets you high, don't deny it. They're right. Extracts. Kratom is addicting. Don't deny it. You're right. Extracts. Should they regulate it? I kind of agree they should. Hate me if you must. But again, almost a 15-year veteran here. Because of idiots like those people that built their YouTube channel purely from their Kratom videos and their support for Kratom. They're like the bandwagoner. They're like the bum who camps out overnight or for a week. And then when they leave piles of shit in their wake for the community to pick up and clean up. That's you doing that to Kratom consumers. You ruin everything we've worked hard for to create throughout the years. You've gained your popularity on the backs of people and veterans and Kratom consumers like myself who take Kratom for an actual good medical reason, like chronic pain. I live in chronic pain. Now, most people cannot honestly say that all they do constantly is feel chronic pain in their body. Most people can't live with that. Most people would go insane, be depressed, be angry, irritable. Remember those rare moments, if you're not one that lives in chronic pain. You know those times where you have like a really piercing headache and your toothache or whatever, how irritable you are? Imagine that 24/7. Do you think you'd be a happy-go-lucky person? Do you think you'd be joyful? Do you think you'd not be dealing with depression? Yeah, it's rough. But if God knew who to bless their lives with, it was mine. Because I can handle it. I have a really high tolerance for pain. The doctor's fascinated by it. It's not a compliment. I'm not looking for kudos. I'm not looking for brownie points here. It's no competition. I just can handle it better than the average person. So that's the thing that God uses to humble me and keep me searching Him and searching for more in life. We all have something. Pick your vice. There's something in our lives that torment us, but it keeps us seeking. Pick a whatever, fill in the blank, but it keeps us seeking. Mine is chronic pain. I take Kratom because I live in chronic pain. And I've taken extracts probably once this past year, and it was for like a flare up, really bad pain day. I don't need extracts. Kratom powder works just fine, and we're going almost 15 years. So, no, when you say Kratom doesn't work for you and you have to get extracts, it's because you form an addiction. Okay? It's because you've created a problem. You don't get kudos for like, I need extracts. Kratom powder, that doesn't work for me. That's not a compliment. Okay? Because you're the ones, remember my analogy for a bum who leaves shit everywhere for us to clean up? You create problems in the community. Okay? You form an addiction, your tolerance is increased, and so now you are addicted to Kratom. So if you were to try to stop, you would have nasty ass withdrawals. And then you'll go on your pulpit and do a video about Kratom withdrawals. Get my free ebook. Here it is. I stopped Kratom because it was just bad for me. I realized that it was an addiction to me. So I had some revelations. Yeah, you sure did. You sure did. You got your revelations. Yeah. You found out that you are an addict and you fucked us all over with your stupid shit. Your YouTube channel, your life, whatever, grew. You were so happy-go-lucky with your extracts. And then you realize that you have a problem. And say it with me here. Kratom wasn't the problem. It's the person. It's like banning cookies or white sugar or soda. You know those people that just have to have a can of soda every day? That's an addiction. If they were to stop drinking sodas, they'd have withdrawals. Same with caffeine. So pick your vice. Those things are not the issue. It's the person consuming it that has the problem, that they can't regulate, that they can't control. I have been taking Kratom powder for many, many years. I don't take my Percocets. I don't take anything, the muscle relaxers that doctors throw at me whenever I want it. I don't take those because I prefer a natural plant alternative that continues to work. Powder. Baby form to those Kratom veterans that say only extracts work. I have a healthy relationship with Kratom. In fact, I have a healthy relationship with everything that I take in and affects my body because I don't want anything to have more power than me. And I do that with everything. I do that with religion. I do that with food. I do that with drinks. If I realize this thing is becoming controlling, like over me, I put it in check. And that applies to everything. Because you are the one that needs to be in control. You. If you can't go a day without something, or if your body goes into detox mode after a mere day or two or three, you have to get yourself back into control. You need to dominate your life. Nothing else. You. If you have to have a fucking cookie or a soda every day, you better get that shit under control. You are the master of your life. Don't let this stupid shit be the master over you. It's like embarrassing when I realize, if this was my case, that a fucking can of soda has that much control over me. That'd be so dehumanizing and pathetic and weak. So don't let anything have that power. If you're one of those people that proudly admit it that they're addicted, that they have to have Kratom extracts, and you're out there, and I love you for it. I value you for it because you're honest. I want you to be encouraged to try to get yourself back into control. There are methods out there. You can Google it, and it's usually from idiots that overdid it, and now they're like trying to push this withdraw ebook or whatever. Fill in the blank, but they're out there, and they can be useful for people like you. People that are not going to blame Kratom or benefit from their Kratom videos or content. You genuinely want to get control over your life. So go seek after these videos and content where it'll help you detox slowly to get yourself back into a regulation where you can be moderate with your dosing. You decrease your tolerance levels that are through the roof right now, maybe. You get them back under control. And then start back up again with kratom powder, just like me, and benefit from the amazing blessings that this plant created by God gives us. And enjoy it because it's there, literally created by God to help us. It's there for the taking. But everything in moderation is key. You can become addicted to anything under the sun. Pick your vice. But for those of you in this kind of situation, I want to encourage you to take back control. And to also not be a douchebag and blame kratom when it's clearly your fault. But most of you are not. They don't apply to that one. Most of you understand. And we need to gain back our power. And realize kratom extract really isn't that good for us. It should be regulated. It should be something that might be a prescription strength version. Kratom powder does the trick. It is there. Its beautiful use and purpose is fulfilling to people who are mature with self-control. It doesn't totally erase the pain. No, most natural things don't completely cure you. It takes the edge off. That's what nature does. The best analogy I can give is a mother who's giving birth. I'll give you my example. I never wanted to get an epidural, or if I did get one, which I did one time, I never wanted to pump so much of it. I wanted to be able to feel the pain. And it's naturally important that a mother feels the pain because she'll know when to push. But if you're totally numbed out with a huge epidural and pumping that shit like you know tomorrow, you're not going to be able to feel the pain. So the nurse has to tell you when to push. Or you just push when you shouldn't. Therefore, you rip yourself. You have issues and complications because you can't feel the natural process that your body was built to do naturally. There was one time when I did get the epidural, and they said you can control how much of the medicine goes in you. So if you barely want to feel the pain, just push it a couple times. If you want to feel the majority of the pain and just take the edge off, just push it one time. And I did. There ended up being a complication with my baby that if I didn't have the strength to flip over and get on my hands and knees, I would have had to have a C-section. Because the umbilical cord was wrapped around, and they're like, you need to be able to get up and move and circle, totally move yourself so the baby will move. Can you do that? They were totally expecting me not to be able to do that because they put an epidural in me. They didn't realize that I barely pushed the button. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. Fuck yeah. I'm worried about my baby. So I immediately get up and flip around and get my fucking hands and knees, and the baby comes out just fine. I avoided an epidural. I avoided a C-section. I avoided complications because I could feel my body. I could feel what was going on, and I was able to move and do what I needed to do to ensure the safety of my baby and my body. Back in the day, before C-sections, I would have died or the baby would have died if you couldn't physically move and know what to do. So that's what I mean by nature was never meant to take something away completely. It was never meant to cure things. If you notice, nature takes the edge off of things. God still wants you to be able to feel a little bit of what you're going through. Fill in the blank. And the reason for that is for your own growth and protection. It's like a survival mechanism. If you didn't feel fear, then you wouldn't know how to be cautious or how to avoid issues if you never felt fear. If you never learned how to look for things and be aware of your surroundings. If you're so naive and numb to it, you're going to be a target. But if you've learned to feel that uncomfortableness every once in a while, you train yourself and prepare yourself for those worst case scenarios if you were in fact naive and dumb and ignorant, numb and blind. That would hurt you more. But being able to feel a little bit of that thing, fill in the blank, you're able to be stronger and grow in maturity, grow in wisdom, and avoid shit from happening, right? So I encourage you a couple things. Shut the fuck up on hating on kratom extracts, okay? You're the problem. Own it. Kratom extract should be avoided unless you really freaking need it once or twice a year. Kind of should be regulated. That's about it. So those two things, just be aware, please. This is a plant that every single day, the fear of it being banned and illegal is constant. And I've always advocated for it. I've always stressed the importance of being honest about it, knowing your comfort zone, catching yourself if you notice yourself being addicted to it, just not denying the obvious that the other side gets right. Yeah, it could be addicting for sure. Yeah, it could get you high. Extracts. Don't deny it. They have truth to it. But they just omit everything else under the sun that could do the same thing to somebody. White sugar, liquor, whatever. I don't pick and choose. I'm not a hypocrite. They are. But it's important to own it, recognize it, so you can not only support others, but protect something that's natural that should not be regulated by the government, that should not be created a synthetic version so they can profit. The big pharma can profit. Nature should always be available, freely available. It's wrong when the government or any entity of power tries to take nature away from us. It's fucking wrong. And I'll be the first one to stand at the front and fight for that and speak for that. So, AKA, I don't know what you're doing, but I deserved one of those little recognition awards that you've been giving out. Hello, I've been doing this for a long time. Kind of hurt, but whatever. I won't message you, I won't complain, I won't bitch. Just saying, those of you that have been following me for a decade, at least you appreciate me.